While The Summer I Turned Pretty is set in the fictional town of Cousins Beach, the real magic actually happens in North Carolina. The show brings a classic summer vibe to life with glowing sunsets, sandy boardwalks, and cozy beach houses. But it's all thanks to the charm of places like Wilmington, Carolina Beach, Cure Beach, Wrightsville Beach, and Fort Fisher. These little coastal gems are where the story really comes to life, even if Cousins itself doesn't exist on the map. Probably, the most memorable spot in the whole series is Susannah's beach house, where all the big moments go down, from first loves to deep family conversations and everything in between. That house is an actual home tucked inside Porter's Neck Plantation, a private neighborhood in Wilmington. The production crew gave it a complete makeover to make it feel like it truly belonged to the Fisher family. With its huge front porch, weathered wood, and cozy rooms, the house has that coastal elegance that feels like a character in itself. Now, not every scene could be filmed inside the house, so the team also built detailed interior sets at EUE/Screen Gem Studios, also in Wilmington. That way, they had the flexibility to shoot the more emotional or complex scenes without being tied down by a real location. It gave the cast and crew total control over lighting and sound, which really shows in the more intimate moments of the show. When it came to building the larger world of Cousins Beach, the team got really creative. Carolina Beach Boardwalk played a big role, especially in those early debutante scenes where Belly starts stepping into a whole new world. Wrightsville Beach's piers gave us those quiet, late-night scenes full of tension, questions, and heart-to-hearts under the stars. Even the 4th of July bonfires, beach volleyball games, and country club parties were all filmed in nearby towns, carefully chosen to feel like pieces of the same place. Jenny Han, the author and creator, has said Cousins Beach is kind of a mix between Cape Cod, the Hamptons, and the Outer Banks. So while it's got that nostalgic East Coast summer feel, it's really just a mix of all the best parts of those places, filtered through her memories and vision for the show. Jenny Han isn't just the author of The Summer I Turned Pretty, she's also the creative force behind the show. While it can be rare for writers to have a lot of say when their books get turned into TV or movies, Han's experience was the total opposite. She stepped into the role of showrunner, writer, and executive producer, which basically means she had a hand in everything from the scripts to the way scenes looked and felt. It was important to her that the story stayed true to the emotions of the books, even if some of the details changed. From the start, Han made it clear this wasn't going to be a word-for-word adaptation. She's talked openly about how she wanted to give fans some surprises, while still keeping the heart of the story intact. Some moments are lifted straight from the pages, but others were reimagined to work better on screen. Her main goal was emotional honesty, making sure that even if something didn't happen exactly like it did in the books, it still felt right. In Season 1, she shared showrunning duties with Gabrielle Stanton, and then with Sarah Kutsurka in Season 2. By the time Season 3 rolled around, Han had stepped up even more. Jenny Han made her directorial debut in Season 3 with Episode 7, adding a deeply personal touch to the story. That season was especially personal to her, and she wanted to make sure it hit all the right emotional notes. Season 3 is also where the characters go through the most growth. It jumps ahead 4 years, which means Belly's in college, Jeremiah's about to graduate, and Conrad's in med school. They're all older, dealing with more adult stuff like therapy, grief, betrayal, and the weight of their past choices. It's not just summer crushes and beach bonfires anymore. Now it's about who they're becoming and how the past still lingers even when everything around them changes. Han has said she doesn't believe in tying things up too perfectly, and that's something that definitely shows in the final season. The ending is emotional and satisfying, but it's not wrapped up in a perfect little bow. It leaves space for what-ifs and growth, which feels more true to life. You walk away feeling hopeful, but with a little ache, exactly how a great coming-of-age story should end. With Jenny Han steering the ship the whole way through, the show stays grounded in the emotional truth that made the book so beloved in the first place. Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty really takes things to a new level, especially since it's the final chapter of the trilogy. It swings in a lot of new directions and actually moves further away from the third book, We'll Always Have Summer, than the earlier seasons did from their source material. So if you're a fan of the books, expect some surprises, but also a story that digs deeper into the characters and their growth. By this point, Belly and Jeremiah have been together for almost 4 years, which is a big shift from the more uncertain beginnings we saw before. Jeremiah even pops the question, but instead of being a straight-up happy moment, it stirs up some real concern from Laurel and tension within their friend group. Their relationship is tested by major emotional strains, growing apart, temptation, and unresolved feelings that resurface during spring break. Jenny Han made it clear that the season isn't just about who Belly ends up with. It's more about who these characters have become, what they've learned along the way, and how the wounds from their past continue to shape their choices. Along with the familiar faces, Season 3 introduces several new characters who add fresh perspectives to the story. Agnes, played by Zoe de Grandmaison, was a minor character in the books but now has a much bigger role as Conrad's emotional anchor, basically his unpaid therapist who keeps him grounded when things get tough. Then there's Denise and Lucinda Jewell, brought to life by Isabella Briggs and Kristen Connolly. These two women are friends and colleagues of Laurel, and bring an adult viewpoint to the show, diving into themes like motherhood, grief, and what it means to navigate relationships later in life. Other recurring cast members like Tanner Zagarino, Sophia Bryant, and Lily Donahue also help flesh out the college-era storylines, giving the season a wider emotional and social scope. With these additions, the show expands beyond just the teenage drama and starts to explore what life looks like as these characters step into adulthood. Fans who've read the books have definitely noticed some changes in how the story unfolds. The romance between Belly and Conrad is slower and more drawn out, which adds more tension and realism to their dynamic. Stephen and Taylor's storyline gets a lot more attention too, giving them emotional closure and a glimpse of their life after college. And Laurel's journey gets richer with more focus on her dating life, dealing with grief, and mending family ties. The cast of The Summer I Turned Pretty really feels like a family, and that vibe comes through both on and off screen. Lola Tung, Belly, Gavin Casalegno, Jeremiah, and Christopher Briney, Conrad, have talked a lot about how their real friendships helped bring more genuine emotion to their performances. Behind the scenes, the group is tight-knit, which made tackling the show's emotional, sometimes intense scenes a lot easier because they could trust each other completely. In interviews, they often joke around, showing a playful side that contrasts with the drama you see on screen. There are some cool behind-the-scenes clips showing how Wilmington was transformed into the fictional Cousins Beach. From detailed set designs to the little prop touches in Susannah's house, it's clear a ton of care went into making the world feel real. Jenny Han's influence is everywhere, not just in the writing but in costumes, extras, and even the smallest details. Production on Season 3 hit a few bumps thanks to the Writers Guild of America, and SAG-AFTRA strikes back in 2023. Filming was supposed to start in late 2023, but ended up being pushed to early 2024. Even though the delays were frustrating, the writers and Jenny Han used the extra time wisely. They fine-tuned the characters' story arcs, made emotional beats sharper, and expanded side stories like Taylor's career journey and Stephen's life after graduation. The strikes also changed how Amazon rolled out the season. Instead of dropping all episodes at once, Season 3 premiered with 2 episodes on July 16th, 2025, and will continue with weekly releases through mid-September. This slower release helped the show build buzz on social media and gave viewers a chance to really connect with the story as it unfolded. As The Summer I Turned Pretty wraps up, it's clear it's more than just a young adult romance. Thanks to Jenny Han's vision, a tight-knit cast, and a stunning setting, the show's really about growing up and how the end of one summer sparks the start of everything new and messy. Thanks for watching Collider. See you next time.